Hi there, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rainbows, and man, oh man, did I get a ton of questions over the weekend. So you can see here, on Monday, I went through all of my emails, all of my messages, and took the top questions I got from everybody about xTool moving from XCS to xTool Studio. So I have been tinkering in this the last couple days so that I can give you a nice, thorough walkthrough. We're going to start from the home page, and I'm actually going to skip most things over here to the left aside from MySpace. MySpace is where you can save things to a cloud. And I'm going to look here. When you first log in to xTool Studio, you may have some files here in recent, you may have untitled, you may have nothing. When you open files inside of xTool Studio that you created in XCS, they will then show here. That's all that is. If you save them inside of the cloud, they will have a little cloud down here. If you save them locally, it will not have the cloud. Okay? You can open XCS files inside of Studio by coming up here to open. If you have opened and saved something inside of xTool Studio, but you want to save it as an XCS file, instead, you just hit File, Save As, and then XCS, okay? There was some notes somewhere in one of the Facebook groups that after you saved it, you couldn't open it in XCS if you opened it in Studio. That's not true. You can File, Save As, and export it back as XCS. If you are not logged in, you want to go ahead and log in. Any credits you have, your purchase history, all the projects you may have stored, all of that will be when you log in. So go ahead and log in. I'm going to open multiple instances up here of different machines. And the reason I'm doing that is because there is a difference in the software based on the machine you have open. First of all, if it opens to a machine that you don't want, you can just come up here to the top right and you can choose the switch or connect device and choose your machine. Easy, right? When you do that, the mode will change. So you can see I'm in the P2 right now. If I want to process on slats, I can choose this mode. If I'm in the M1 Ultra, I have lasering on a flat surface, all of these options, and I can change them right here. S1 is the same. Now, what differs is this section right here. For the S1, we have take a camera snap with your mobile device, we have marking, and we have measurement. Also pinpoint positioning for the M1 Ultra. If I go back to lasering on a flat surface, I have marking first, then the snap, then the measure. So it may have minor adjustments. On the P2, because we have cameras, we have background refresh, we have a close view camera, we have auto measure or quick measure, and then we have aimed measure. And so it looks a little bit different based on each device. Also, what looks a little different is the canvas. We have a bigger canvas for the P2, for example, than we do the M1 Ultra. Aside from that, the only difference you should be seeing will be on this menu bar. If you're on a Windows device versus a Mac, Windows will have a little drop-down arrow right here. Everyone has this over here, and it's easy to search. So I searched how to calibrate the M1 Ultra, even though I'm in P2, and it gives you everything, including videos, okay? So this was very handy. I really enjoy that feature being in there. And if you click on this, it will take you to a web page. All right, so I really like that this is all right here built in for me. Additionally, what's built in is the user guide. So each of these will have their user guide built right in. I'm going to put a couple of things on the canvas. So I'm putting a rectangle, a circle, some text, and then I'm going to import an image. So right over here on the left-hand menu, we have our preferences. This is all the studio software settings. You have all these menus that no one uses, and then you have this one. This is new, light to dark canvas. If you prefer a dark canvas, bless you. I prefer light. And we also have the ability to change the color of the grid, light, medium, and dark. Where I want you to do is skip down below save, skip down below upload to the MySpace, and go to this plus sign. That is how we import an image. So I'm just going to import an image of this happy dog. I want to click off of happy dog for a second. you see there's no menu bar at all. We see a couple of things on our overview over here, but pretty much everything else is blank. When we click on an item, a menu pops out. Now I want you to watch this menu as I click on the circle. Did you see the change? We have vector editing now, where we did not have vector editing before. When I click on text, we have much more extended menu. Oh, but wait, there's more. It even pops out, which I hate nested menus. But what your menu is going to be dependent on what you have selected. Now that is not different than before. I also got, where is my Boolean functions where subtract, unite, all that? If you have one item selected, that's the vector menu. Two items selected, you have your Boolean algorithms. So you not only have all of what you're used to, you also have release or make a compound vector, right? So all of that is the same. When you have more than one item, no matter what it is, you also have a group or an ungroup. So if I group that, that becomes ungroup. I used hotkeys for that, but they buried it up here. Now, I'm going to answer the number 2 question I got, which was, where's my editing menu for images? And when you select an item, you come up to edit. Where's the invert? It's nested. I don't know why it's nested either. This is all the same. If you adjust, oh, that's going to be bad. You can reset. And if you want to invert, you can do so right here, or you can reset. What is so amazing is this auto adjust right here does a very good job, and it's for free, by the way. This is a very good job, and it is for free. Okay, I know a lot of people are talking about, oh, everything is cost AI credits now. This is for free. I think this is amazing, and I think I am very appreciative of that because it does an excellent job. The questions I'm getting is, where's trace, where's background remover, and where's crop? Under tools, we have crop, which is the exact same. You can crop via a ratio, you can crop via a size, or you can crop by pulling. Right next to that is the AI cutout. Now, I don't know why they named it AI cutout because I only use the manual cutout, but look at this. I just want to say, if you don't know how to do this manually, that right there is worth the 6 credits because it just saved you a ton of time. Everywhere that you can have to pay for credits, you actually get the option to pull up your credits or buy credits right here from this screen, which I also appreciate. If you want to know more about this program, you can come over here. Do these credits expire? No, they are permanently valid, but you cannot exchange them back for money. Just FYI. So back to this screen right here. If you do not want the AI to do it, you can go to manual cutout. We have the magic wand. Let's reduce the fuzziness so we don't remove the dog. And we can do this by color. We can do this by eraser, or we can hope for the best, increase our fuzziness and remove half of our dog. We still have to wait for the AI to process, which drives me insane. I shouldn't have to wait. But if you would like to give a note to xTool support about that, you can do so. I will be doing so. Trace is also right here. Nothing is different with this. They always are improving the algorithms that power these things behind the scenes, but the actual functionality that you use is still the same. What is different is we have a couple of things. We have some AI enhancements here. So you can enhance via AI. Again, it does cost money. You can edit. Like here you can see like, I'm going to use like add a butterfly to the scene. I don't actually know if it will add it anywhere. Oh, that's a bad circle. Can I undo that? I can't. Okay, well, let's see if that works. I have no idea what's going to happen. You can add something or you can remove something. So if there is a light pole in an image, you can remove the light pole. So if you want me to do a tutorial on this, I absolutely will. But you see, add a butterfly just on the side of his face. Isn't that neat? Now, again, that costs real money because you're buying AI credits, gives you a way to play. And just FYI, it gives you a lot of way. Are you sure you want to do this? Do you want to hit back? Here we go. Now below that are the filters you may be used to, comic, halftones, all those. And below that are the restyles, which are really fun. I did Cyberpunk. I've done the line art, and I don't remember what else I did. But I can show you those as well. Here you can see, I'm going to generate, it will take this exact image and it will generate an enchanted lore sort of style. It doesn't change the actual image foundation like the enhancements do. So this will just change the style that you're looking for. Where I see these being used, especially these up here are extremely popular. But where I see these being used is actually more stickers or printables and stuff like that. Now this does take a couple of seconds. As you can see, we're at 92%. This is actually the longest it's taken me for anything, probably because I'm recording. You can see how this changed. That is hilarious. Okay, so if you want, buy some credits, play inside of here. I'm going to give you some alternatives to these up here. Inside, again, also an AI. But as you can see, your edit menu is still there. From here, even though we have adjusted with AI, we can actually still come through. We wouldn't want to sharpen, but let's say we do want to brighten. Ooh, not that much. Let's say we want to increase the contrast to get a nicer outline. You can still edit even though you've done enhancements, which again, I appreciate. So I am going to now remove the image from my focus, and I'm going to come up here to vectors. So we know these are vectors because in addition to engrave, which is all we have for the image, we now have the option for score, engrave, and cut. We also want to open up this down here. So inside of this nested menu at the bottom on the left-hand bar are the layers and objects list, the canvas, which is now a separate pop-out, and then via the select or hand. So select just means I'm highlighting something. Hand just means I'm gonna move something, like the canvas. I hold down space instead of hitting hand. So here you can see you can do the same thing as hitting space. So this next one here is the canvas. We'll add a canvas. I do this a lot in my product files. By the way, I went up to 65 canvases and didn't hit the limit. So I'm not sure if this is unlimited now or if this has a limit of 100. I really appreciate xTool changing this because it really helps a lot of us out. Opening up the layers panel gives me all of each items that I have. Now, it also now shows a nice little preview of what you're doing, which is really helpful when you have 300 items on your objects list and nothing is named. So for those of you with poor, layers management, I get you. They are trying to help you out with this little preview here. Pretty fun. Okay, so now looking in the layers panel over here, we know that these are vectors because it states the name. We also know that this is text because we can change it, right? I'm going to come back to text in a second. But when we have the item vector selected, you can see here's our vector menu. Everything in here is the same. We can select a single node and adjust that node in relation to the canvas. We can select the type of node, that was a horrible example. There we go. We can select the algorithm for the type of node that this is and change each of those individual nodes. And we can also do relational changes where we select more than one node and we change it a lot. There you go. We can do a lot of stuff. Okay. All of that is the same. We can also, let me put that back. We can also simplify. So let's say I go in and I add 87 other little nodes. If I select the whole thing, I can simplify that back. This menu is the exact same. Let's go down even one more, right? Let's go up 4. All of that's the same. We also have the same functionality with our scissors tool, okay? So all of that is the exact same. Let me take that away and just add another circle here. What I would like to highlight is an answer to somebody else's question. If we can change, right click, we can change the layer color, and we can also change it down here in this pop out. If you don't have your layers panel open, the pop out is a little bit more to the left. You just select something and you can change the layer. I get asked a lot about why I would want to use this. Just FYI, let's say that everything purple is engrave, let's say, and everything green is cut. I can go ahead and select purple instead of selecting all of my individual objects, and I can put in the, let's say we want this 33 power. I can select everything at once. That's why we use the colors. Also an easy thing, we can select all purple and set it to ignore output, right? Meaning the machine won't process it. That is why we use this section up here and in conjunction with the section down here. All right, so let's do some actual stuff here. I'm going to set this to engrave so you can see it better. Look at the menu at the top. I have my single vector edit menu, and when I select 2 items, I now get my Boolean edit menu and my compound vector option. If I do subtracted overlap, you can see the menu has changed once again. I do have the edit this compound path, but now I also have release the compound path. So depending on what you're doing, this is a dynamic menu. And we saw that it no longer, for this or this, it doesn't look like our image menu, right? Here's our edit. No edit. No edit, right? So each of these menus is dynamic and it changes. Now I will say the one menu that I despise is the text menu. What happens is, really appreciate the first little pop out we get over here, and that is the filtering for the fonts. I absolutely love the bookmark ability, and I absolutely love this filtering ability. We have a filter here and we have a filter here. Now this filter only applies to their loaded fonts, not my uploaded fonts, but it's there. We also have the ability to upload fonts right from here. If you are brand new and you don't know where your font management tools are on your computer, you can just go ahead and pop this button after you download a font file. I think that's really easy. I think that's really quick. I'm going to go ahead and close this menu after I show you the dynamic menu. So again, we are on text. It is selected. Let's pretend we select our text over here. This doesn't automatically go away. We now have 2 menus, right? Because this pop out caused this menu to double. But we also have a 3rd menu. That is ridiculous to me. I'm not gonna lie. Even if we come over here, we've already selected our font, so we close that. We still have a pop-out menu here. If I'm asking for the world, all of this stuff to the left needs to be static. It needs to be somewhere stationary. There's no reason I need 3 menu bars popping out for a dynamic menu. I think that's silly. I do want to answer a question. Why is everything so small? I can barely see it. I can't make it bigger. So I actually tried to go in. I went into the settings. I tried to find anything online. Right now, I can't make anything on that menu bar bigger. I can't zoom in because I can zoom in on the canvas, but because I can't adjust this menu bar, I can't pull it down, I have no way to make these bigger. That to me is an accessibility problem for people like that particular person who he said he can't see it very well. That to me needs to be updated immediately because it needs to be an accessible program. But aside from that, this is just my picky little wish list item of why is everything nested now. If you want to, you can explore the elements. So the shape menu or the basic shape menu has changed. Our hotkeys are still here. We do have an expanded elements menu. So some of these you know already. These are indicator that they are popular. There is a yellow indicator that it is either paid or limited free in some way. If you want to explore, come in here and explore. Right? You want to learn how to auto image trace or image trace with your own parameters? Here's some free design elements that you can really use to learn these editing menus, which I think is a great idea. This is to access MySpace. This is for the AI Make. So I absolutely love this. So I just did this. Let me show you my history before I choose this. So if you choose this tab up here, it can show you your history. See this little dog right here? I took the image that was originally, I downloaded from Deposit Photos, I uploaded it, and I asked it to create a line art drawing. That will make you money. If you are selling something, that will make you money. I want to tell you, that is a free or low cost, I will say. Free meaning you don't have to buy another piece of software. And it took about 45 seconds for that to process. Okay, if you want a tutorial on that, I will tell you how to do that. It will make you money. This is so popular. It can be done in wood. It can be done in acrylics. It can be done with the metal fab. It will make you money. I'm just saying, it will make you money. There's really cute stuff. Now, the one bad thing about how AI Make is put inside of xTool Studio is this right here. If you hit the trash can, it will not give you a credit back if you don't like what it processed. I want to say that again. Do not hit the trash can because you will lose all 6 credits. If you do not like what the AI has created for you, you have to slowly hover and then choose dislike. And just FYI, I now have this because I accidentally hovered and clicked the image instead of clicking this teeny tiny dislike. I think there needs to be a bigger button for that, to be honest. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, let's say you spent 6 credits to get the AI to do it. If you hit dislike, you will get 4 credits refunded to you. I don't want to do that, but you will get that credit back. There are so many things that you can do inside of here. If you want a tutorial on that, let me know. Where I want to highlight the last thing is inside of the applications menu. This is all of the same. If you're new to any lasers, material test arrays are going to be your best friend. Everything is the same for experienced users. We also have smart nesting. I hope that they have the ability to remove the double cut lines. I don't know. I will email support and ask. Measurement I use all the time. Now, batch fill, they have put that as a separate update. So if you go into About xTool Studio in your settings menu, this is a separate update, which I absolutely love because we don't have to download a whole new Studio feature set in order to just upgrade batch fill. And the reason I say that is because I think they're focusing a lot on making this even better. All right, so going back, the last thing I want to show is these generators. So the first generator, this would be my first project recommendation to absolutely every soul. When I started with this, there were only 4. Now there are 8. So I'm going to choose this really basic cutie down here at the bottom. It is a single letter. You cannot change the font. Below that, you can choose the size. Now watch. When you expand this, you can choose to actually not have a hole and just cut out a letter, or you can come here and change the hole size. So watch over here as I change the hole size, got a lot bigger. We can also change the thickness. Now obviously that is not a okay thing. Let's change it to, point. There you go. So you can see I have much thicker now. Easy peasy is a ray cast angle change. That right there is a usable and functional and will not break keychain. We can also change the whole offset. So watch where this goes. Bloop, a little further out, that'll break. A little further out, that's not even attached. So I really like that a brand new user can come in here and make themselves a keychain. Here's how. We import it to Canvas. There's our finished product. I'm actually going to go through and delete all these real quick. I'm going to show you something on the layers panel. So right now, this piece is 2.5 inches high from its top to its bottom, as we indicated. Over here, it's saying it's to cut, right? One click set. This is based on the material you've chosen up here. So I'm going to click here, choose red acrylic, hit apply. I thank you. Now it changed. If you're new, we love that, because if you're new, you maybe skipped the whole material test we told you to create, and you can come in here and choose based on the pictures. Now with engraving, it makes a whole lot of difference. As you can see, we have a lot less clear, kind of inconsistent, to a very clear, very consistent. That is very helpful if you are new. Also very helpful is that if I go to preview, I'm going to change it back to cut real quick. This is new. I really like this. So for tumblers, for new people, look at this. This is showing you're going to have 3 pieces cut out of your plastic. I really like that. I want to do something here. If I click this or double click, I can just choose a next letter, right? Let's say I'm making something for the entire soccer team. Let's say I reduce the power. Like let's say I just fat fingered something and instead of 80, I chose 8, okay? Watch. Here's my preview, right? So I'm gonna be cutting this, it's on an output. Go to my preview and it will show you an error. And it'll say, girl, are you sure? This doesn't seem right. It's saying, hey, it's no longer cutting. Let's go back. Maybe you meant to say 90 or 80 or whatever I had before, right? So we don't need to edit that. We come back out. All right, so now you have that and you have no error. I really like that. Good job, xTool. That's like a little final say. Now, depending on the device, you can see a framing button right here. We don't have framing in the P2. M1 Ultra, you have framing. S1, you have framing. That's what this is right here. All of your framing settings are still right here. Inside of process, we still have auto plan or user defined, and that's with every machine. So you can come in here. Every machine still has that. So that is the quickest overview that I can give. I answered hopefully everything. Yes, nope. This means we need to send an email to support, which I already told them. We did this, we did this, we did this, we did this. This is an email. That's supposed to say what are WebP files? WebP files are just like the same as JPEG, bitmap, PNG, all of that. Why is there a $sign on a font? Can I use that? What about on elements? I see them there too. So the $sign just says limited free. I couldn't find anything in there about it. So again, if anybody has any questions, I recommend you go to the group on Facebook and then search first. Always search. It's likely been asked. And if it hasn't, you can create a new one. Help me with X at xTool support, like that. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions that I did not answer about xTool Studio, let me know. If you want tutorials on the AI stuff, I am happy to give them as well. Just let me know down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for being here. Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe for more updates.